Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at some brass 7.62 by 3.940 AK-47, okay? And this is really pretty, okay? This is really pretty round. It looks like a 300 blackout. Unless you look at it, like you might think that it is a 300 blackout, but no, this is for the AK-47. So the company that makes it, I cannot pronounce it. So I'll show you guys the packaging. Okay. And the company is called Balle Blindee. Okay. And I'm guessing that it's some Eastern European company. Now, over here on the package, it says made in EU. Okay. Made in European Union. So I'm guessing that they're now part of the European Union. So I don't know exactly which country this is, and I really don't care that much. From what I've been able to gather, this company, Balle Blindee, is the only one that makes brass AK-47 ammunition. At least that's what I've been able to find. Now, I know that other companies have been considering making it. I don't know if they actually got into production. At one point, I heard that Palmetto was even considering making brass AK ammunition, and the idea there was that that Biden was basically trying to limit the imports, and Palmetto basically has a business of making lots of guns, including AK-47s. So it was in the interest of continuing their business. It would have been it would naturally be a smart business choice to make sure that there is a constant supply of AK ammo for the AKs that they want to sell. Okay, so now as far as this Balle Blindee, okay, the question is this better ammunition than the steel case stuff that we normally shoot, right? Today I'm shooting Red Army Standard. I've shot Tula for many years, and I did. My best group was, I think it was, in fact, I think it was Wolf, 7.62 by 3.9, was at 200 yards, like 3¼ inches. Okay, so sub 2 MOA. So the AKs can be pretty accurate guns if you have if your optics are well mounted to the gun, right? Because when I used to, this gun over here, I've hit that group I told you, right? Like sub 2 MOA at 200 yards. When I had the optic mounted on the side mount that would come over the top, this thing would get like 6 inches, 8 inches at 100 yards. That's because the side mount, it moves. It's not stable. Some are better than others, okay? But even with the good ones, if you take it and you press down on it, it's going to move, okay? Because it's just supported from one side compared to this system over here, where the bottom rail is clamped onto the barrel, the top rail is clamped onto the bottom rail, and then the optic is clamped onto the top rail. Now, there's lots of screws here, right? Because you've got things mounting on top of things, and you can't see all the screws. So there's times when I started losing my my zero because internally things were starting to come loose, even though they were Loctited. They, over thousands of rounds, they'll come loose. And the problem is that because it's all covered up, you can't see it. Okay, you don't see it until you start losing your zero. And there's lots of things that you got to take apart and basically tighten up. Okay, versus let's say if on an AR, for example, if your optic becomes loose on top of the Picatinny rail, all you gotta do is tighten that one thing up and you're done, right? You don't have to start taking everything apart. Okay. So anyway, going back to today's question, one of the things I've been trying to find out for a couple of years now, right? And I've been testing this like on and off, like at times almost second guessing my results. I have never found that this brass ammunition, I have never found this to be more accurate than the steel case stuff. And I've just shot it before. First I shot the Red Army stuff. So I shot the Red Army stuff. That's the ones with the circles, okay? So the total group was 6 inches. I probably threw that one. Now remember, I'm just using a red dot here. There's no magnification. So what I'm doing is I at 100 yards, because this gun has a 25-yard zero, right? Because this way I get a second zero at 200 yards. The dot, I'm putting the dot underneath the paper, right? So the whole paper is a bullseye, and I'm going underneath the bullseye. So the total group was 6 inches. I probably threw that one. So we got a 4-shot cluster of about 3.5 inches. Pretty typical of what I see with steel case Russian ammunition, okay? So then I shot the brass stuff, and the group opens up bigger than the paper, okay? Because I got, first of all, there was a shift to the left, a hard shift to the left. And it's the one with the square. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th one came out here somewhere. I couldn't even find it. So right there, I'm more than 6 inches, and then there's like one out here that would put me at 8 inches. And I remember from the last few times I've tested this ammunition that there was a shift. I didn't remember which direction the shift went in. So I shot it again. This time I was holding to the right, okay? And it's like I got one here, 2 here, and then the other 3 like completely off the target. So, which is pretty typical of what I've seen all the other times I have shot this brass AK ammunition. I've always wondered, maybe it's the wind, maybe it's me. I've tested this a number of times over many years, because I've had this ammunition for a number of years. I have never found this ammunition to be better than steel case ammunition. So those are my thoughts, and I have to think that I guess that's because this stuff isn't very popular. So there has to be a reason why this stuff isn't very popular, even though it's been around for a while. And I just think it's the consistency of the gunpowder. They're just not loading the gunpowder consistent enough. Okay. So those are my results. Those have been my findings for several years of shooting this brass and comparing it against the regular steel case stuff. So if you guys got different results, let me know. Drop some comments below, and I'll talk to you all soon.